is Shankar sir. Welcome to my channel Natural Biology. In the previous class we have discussed about the kidney transplantation and dialysis process. Okay, if the both kidneys are failed, what is the solution? Isn't or not? So one is the temporary solution, dialysis, artificial kidney, and one more is the permanent long-term solution, that is kidney transplantation. Now in this class we are going to discuss about the other excretory organs. As we know that kidneys are the chief excretory organs, main excretory organs. So along with kidney, so some other organs also involves in excretion. They are together called as accessory excretory organs or other excretory organs. Accessory excretory organs or other excretory organs. Okay, accessory excretory organs or other excretory organs. What are those? The first one, lungs. We discuss about lungs. Lungs primarily they are respiratory organs. Secondarily they involve in excretion. Okay, generally the carbon dioxide which comes out from the lung is a respiratory waste material, but secondarily we can consider as excretory waste material. Okay, so first one, lungs. What the waste material produced by lungs? One is carbon dioxide, harmful gas, along with gas little amount of water in the form of moisture also released. So these are the excretory waste materials from the lungs. Come to one more organ, skin. As we know that skin is the largest organ. So this skin contains many different types of glands. So majorly sweat glands and sebaceous glands. Okay. Sweat glands release, okay, or excrete extra water and also little amount of nitrogenous salts. Okay. Extra water plus salts. Come to sebaceous glands, they are going to produce sebum. These sebum contains steroids, hydrocarbons, fats and waxes. So what are the waste produced by the derivatives of cholesterol, steroids, hydrocarbons are going to excrete. So through the sebum. So in this way, skin involves in excretion. Skin contains two types of glands. Okay, sweat glands, sebaceous glands. Sweat glands are going to release extra water and some of the salts like sodium chlorides, and also sebum contains, these are derivatives of, okay, steroids, hydrocarbons, fats and waxes. So in this way, skin involves in excretion. Come to one more organ, that is liver. As we know that liver produces bile juice, especially bile pigments. Okay, the waste materials which are produced here, bile pigments. So these bile pigments are three types, you know. Okay, so these are the three pigments. Okay, bile pigments are three types: urochrome, bilirubin, biliverdin. We know that how these pigments are produced. These pigments are produced by worn out RBC. You know that RBC lifespan is 120 days. After 120 days, what is the fate of RBCs? Where they are going to destroy. So after 120 days, after death of RBC, they goes to liver and spleen. Especially in the liver. So by using the dead RBC, liver is going to produce bile juice and bile pigments. So these bile pigments are urochrome, bilirubin, biliverdin. This urochrome is going to excrete through the urine. The amber color, pale yellow color of urine is due to urochrome. And bilirubin, biliverdin are going to excrete through the feces, fecal matter. So in that way, liver involves in excretion. So production of urea also takes place in the liver by a process called deamination. Where urea is produced, production of urea takes place in the liver. Okay, so by a process called deamination, urea production takes place in the liver, urea filtration takes place in the kidney. to one more excretory organ, that is large intestine. So inner lining of the large intestine, especially epithelium of the large intestine contain a special type of cells. Okay, that cells involves in excretion. So what materials are going to excrete? That are ions of calcium, magnesium and iron. Okay, so extra ions like calcium, magnesium and iron, these are going to excrete by the epithelium of the large intestine into feces. Okay, so in that way large intestine also act as a excretory organ. Saliva and tears. Okay, so not only these organs, even saliva and tears also involves in excretion. They also going to remove some extra water and few salts from the body. So likewise, these all the organs involves in excretion. So kidneys are the main chief excretory organs. These all are secondarily excretory organs. Hence they are called accessory excretory organs. Till now we have discussed how excretion occurs in human beings. But what about other organisms? Do all other organisms having these type of excretory organs? Do all organisms have only kidneys? No. Different organisms have different strategies in excretion. Let us discuss about excretion in other organisms. Excretion in other organisms. Let us take simple organisms. Okay, very simple organisms, unicellular organisms. These unicellular organisms do not have kidneys and special excretory structures. They use a very simple process called diffusion. Okay, what is that? Simple diffusion. Okay, simple diffusion. Mostly marine unicellular organisms use simple diffusion. So they use their body surface to remove this extra water and nitrogenous waste materials from the body. So waste materials like ammonia and carbon dioxide. What they are going to excrete? Ammonia and carbon dioxide through the entire body surface. Freshwater unicellular organisms have developed a special structure, a special cell organelle that is called contractile vacuole. So these contractile vacuole involves in osmoregulation. We know that maintenance of body fluid balance by the process called osmosis, isn't it or not? So these organs which are involved in this process are called osmoregulatory structures. Example, amoeba, paramecium. So amoeba, paramecium have developed a special cell organelle that is called contractile vacuole. If you see the structure of amoeba, okay, so this is amoeba nucleus. If waste materials are present in the cytoplasm, that waste materials are going to enter into a special cell organelle. So this is called contractile vacuole and it is a nucleus. So these contractile vacuole collect the extra water and nitrogenous waste material and get swells up, and it moves to the surface of the body where they thrown out of the body. So in that way, contractile vacuole involves in excretion, primarily osmoregulation. Come to multicellular organisms. Multicellular organisms have developed different structures for excretion. Different organisms have developed different structure. So let us learn one by one. Okay. As we know that all the organisms are classified into different categories, kingdoms, phylums. Okay. Let me discuss what are the phylum present in the Animalia, kingdom Animalia. In 9th class you might have learned from Porifera to Chordata. What are those phylums? So how excretory organs involves in that phylum we will discuss. Okay? Right. So let us see name of the phylum or organism and excretory excretory system, type of excretory system or excretory organs. The first one, protozoans. Okay, so protozoans use simple diffusion. In porifera and cylindrata, water is entering into the body. So this water is going to bath all the cells. So thereby excretory waste material get mixed into the cell. So the same process again, diffusion involves here. So in that way excretion takes place in porifera and cylindrata. Come to next phylum, that is Platyhelminthes. The excretory structures are cells first time developed in Platyhelminthes. Example, flatworms. Okay, we can see a special type of cells which involves in excretion are flame cells. Hence it is important bit. Okay, so very important. The first phylum which is developed excretory structures is known as Platyhelminthes. Let us see the picture of flame cell. So this is the flame cell. Okay, it is having a nucleus, cilia, and also tube cell. Okay, a tube cell is present and also small tubule is present. So through these tubules, blood capillaries enter into the cell. Their filtration takes place. After filtration, the nitrogenous waste material comes out through this excretory pore. So excretory pore is the final opening. So in this way, flame cell involves in excretion. Come to one more phylum, that is Nematoda. So Nematoda, Rennetti cells involves in excretion. Okay, what are the excretory cells? Rennetti cells. Let us see the picture of these Rennetti cells. So same, these also look like a flame cells, but here in middle there are many transverse tubes are present. In these transverse tubes, so excretion takes place. They are also going to come out through a excretory pore. So we can see here excretory pore. So in that way, so blood is entering into this cell, Rennetti cell. So in transverse tubes, excretion takes place. Thereby, waste materials comes out through the excretory pore. Okay. For nematodes example, Ascaris. Okay. Roundworms, pinworms. Come to Annelida. Annelida examples are earthworms. In earthworms, special structures are called nephridia. Okay, so nephridia involves in excretion. You can see here this is a picture of nephridia. Okay, so it is also a tubule-like cell. Okay, which is going to receive the water through the nephrostome. So where the water and nitrogenous waste materials enter into these tubules. Okay, filtration takes place. Thereby the filtered waste material comes out through the excretory pore. Okay, so in that way, so this cell involves in excretion. Come to one more phylum, that is Arthropoda. So here Arthropoda, green glands and Malpighian tubules. Okay, in Arthropoda, green glands and Malpighian tubules are present. So a pair of glands which present in the anterior region that are called green glands. So that involves in excretion, and Malpighian tubule. Most of the insects have these Malpighian tubules. Let us have a look on these Malpighian tubules. Okay. So these Malpighian tubules mostly found in insects between the midgut, where the midgut is opened into the ileum. So we can see there are many yellowish color tubule-like structures. So that are called Malpighian tubules. So these Malpighian tubules are going to collect the waste materials from the body. So thereby the waste materials are enter into the ileum. They are going to release the waste materials into the ileum. So in that way, Malpighian tubules involves in excretion. Come to one more phylum, that is Mollusca. In Mollusca, we can see Metanephridia. In Mollusca, what we can see? Metanephridia. So this is a picture of Metanephridia. It is also involves in excretion. It is same like Nephridia. After Mollusca, Echinodermata. So in Echinodermata, we can see water vascular system. So this is a picture of in arms there are many number of tubifids are present. So these tubifids receive the water and waste materials where the filtration takes place, thereby water and waste materials comes out from the tubifids, and little amount of water also comes out through the madreporite. So in that way, so this system is called vatrovascular system, involves in excretion. After echinodermata, next phylum is chordata. Okay, so in chordate mostly vertebrates have well developed kidneys, especially reptiles, aves, mammals have well developed kidneys where filtration of nitrogenous waste materials takes place through the kidneys. Okay, even pisces, amphibians also have kidneys, okay, but not much developed, but well developed kidneys we can see in reptiles, aves and mammals. So this is about excretion in different organisms. This is about excretion in different organisms. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. Please do subscribe to my channel, comment, share